Hello fellow rogues and alchemists, this is Fate Alchemist here, and welcome to another episode of Thaumcraft, the Forbidden Arts. Woohoo! Yay! So last time guys, we distracted ourselves by making our base a little bit more ambulatory. We can now get around without having the grappling hook everywhere, because that's not very practical. But, as I say, a distraction. The real problem is right behind us. I'm having a moment of lucidity. I got my mask on, and I'm under warp ward. But he's still creeping there in the back of my mind. Ananus, the ever-present demon of the void. He's there, in my mind, trying to get out. And I need to do something about that. Got enemies from within, enemies from without. Agent Johnson's still out there prowling around, because even though I beat him back at the end, he still escaped. And now he's got a better sense of my power. He'll come back more prepared. You know he will. I'm worried he might do something truly desperate. But for Ananus, impetus oculus. He's all about opening that eye, and that has something to do with my new research. Well, he wants me to open it for him. That's not going to happen. However, if there is an eye out there and it's giving him power, maybe I can use it to my advantage. So some here in these notes is the key to the void. We did make these gauntlets. And if we can make it so I can create customized spells, I think that would be a good thing. Augmentation. Whilst creating improved casting gauntlets like the Thaumic Gauntlet is great, at some point I will be unable to come up with designs for new gauntlets. Maybe I should spend some time thinking of ways to improve the designs. This also presents me with an opportunity to come up with a system that is modular enough to not require constantly replacing gauntlets as I make new advancements in my research. So I present to you augmentation. I have come up with some initial plans for a system to make effective casting foci more effective. The first component requirement is a sort of modifier that creates additional energy use by the caster. However, I will need some sort of filter to actually make use of this extra energy, which I think can create in a similar way to foci. Because these additions to the existing mechanisms casting gauntlet, I believe I'll be able to call this new type of device an augment. While I want to be able to apply a wide variety of modifiers as the providers of energy to these effect crystals, I should start with something simple. The casting gauntlets I have created thus far all use V resonator to interface with the aura. Perhaps I can create a type of resonator that is specialized towards a specific aspect of essentia instead of the entire spectrum. This new elemental resonator modifier should allow the gauntlet to more effectively use a single aspect of essentia, allowing any focus effects with the same aspect to become more effective. So I can train my gauntlets onto a single modifier, so we can get an elemental modification. Let's make 10 ordo. Oh, I love this system so much. This is the best thing. That's right. Refill. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, let's not stare at that too long. I'll get lost in it. Okay, cool. 1. Okay, we'll go with a casting speed, V discount, and my favorite one, the power focus. So we'll combine those. Let's get the power focus first. Let's see what this unlocks. The emptiness. Entering the emptiness? Alright, Ananus, you can't hide in my head forever. If you're out there in the void, I will find you. Drawing power from rifts to make void seeds is useful in itself, but I feel like I've barely scratched the surface of the potential rift energy. However, before I can find uses for this energy, I need to find a way to extract it into a usable form. Let's contemplate on this and see what we've learned. Thanks to some research, I have determined that it should be possible to hold energy from rifts in a custom storage cell. This cell will need to have heavily modified void seed core, which acts as the receptor for the energy. I suppose I should give this energy a name, because rift energy seems to be much more than volatile than the V I've worked with before. I think a suitable name would be impetus force. Now all I need is a tool to extract the energy with. Instead of making a dedicated tool for this purpose, I'm confident that I can use my augment system to attach some sort of energy extractor to a casting gauntlet. I can enhance what I already have. And even though I was only lucky enough to get one, I still have some fragments of the void pearl, the primordial nodule, left. This gauntlet's still good for a tool. Yes. There it is. Oh, that's a beauty. Okay. Let's grab this little piece of infinity. Impetus level none. Okay, so I have it. What do I do with it? All I need is a tool to extract the energy with. Instead of making a dedicated tool for this purpose, I'm confident I can use my augment system to attach some sort of energy extractor to the casting gauntlet. Well, we've completed it. That stings. I've finally finished creating all I need to begin delving into the uses of impetus. Not only can I use the device I created to extract power from a rift, it is also capable of releasing it somewhat rapidly. To get started, I should attach the impetus conductor to a gauntlet. Then I only need to stand close to a flux rift and it will slowly drain energy from the rift into the gauntlet. As with the void siphon, drawing energy from the rift will cause it to become unstable, in addition to rapidly shrinking, eventually into nothing. If I don't want to constantly make new flux rifts, I should ensure the rift stays stable and has a healthy size. While I don't have any other devices that will make use of impetus at the moment, I have noticed a particular effect on the casting gauntlet itself. The presence of impetus seems to slightly increase the power of any focus without consuming any impetus to do so. This resonance effect seems to continue for as long as the attached impetus conductor contains at least some energy. Since we're going to be out by the rift for a moment, let's ward up a bit. Oh, we actually have to... There we go. Okay. Let's see what happens. Now we have this all warded up. And we will use... Frostbolt. Yeah. Okay. Very good. We got 10 minutes of immunity. Let's make use of it. So here we are. Oh, wait. Yes. Oh. It's making me powerful. Okay, let's not overindulge. We were doing 4 damage before with Frostbolt, which that spell can be made to be a lot more powerful, but just to give it a apples-to-apples comparison, let's shoot it off now that we have impetus in here. 4.4. So I'm going to say it increases it by 10%. So we got a weak spell in here. We can make... advanced foci, and these are just the level 1 foci, so this can be made a lot better. We've had the ability to make powerful spells for a while, and I think it's about time we took advantage of our abilities. Now I know what I should do. I've discovered impetus. I've discovered a way to make my gauntlet more powerful. And I really ought to create more powerful spells. But I can't help but be curious, as it looks like I have found... In discovering impetus, I may have discovered the origin point of Bananas and the Crimson Right Brotherhood. I have been trying to determine if it would be possible to open a flux rift that doesn't lead to a swift death for quite a while now. While I think it isn't possible for me to open one myself, I have a theory that some may exist naturally in the world. In fact, I've found some. However, these fractures in the fabric of reality can only occur in certain locations, where the boundaries between dimensions are weaker than normal. I should create a device that can help me locate one of these places, because I found them in my journeys before. I have drawn up plans for a device that should be able to point me towards a dimensional fracture. Let's think about what we know. We know that there is energy inside these void rifts. We know that the Crimson Brotherhood live there. We are pretty sure that Inanus resides within. If I could encapsulate some vacuous energy into a device and use it as a compass, I should be able to locate areas where the border between realms is thin. Perhaps, maybe even go into the Nether. Well, on paper, it looks like it should work. Rare earth elements have been shown to have a magnetic property if we imbue it with vacuous crystals and put it in a magically inert metallic substance. We should be able to make ourselves a compass of sorts. The best ideas are often simple and elegant. So, if my calculations are correct, this crystal should glow if I'm facing towards a potential fracture. So, we'll need to get a good vantage point. Well, the stone isn't glowing. I don't see anything here. Perhaps we should go to the Nether and give ourselves a longer reach. Standard operating procedure. If we're going to be traveling, we need to make some bath salt potions. While that cooks, let's head over to the Britannia station and see if we can make ourselves a bit safer for the Nether. Now, in the past, we have used this brewing station to create fire protection potions, but I think we can do one better here. This time we're not using any mere potion. This time we're going to use the power of the pendant and apply the effects directly onto this piece of jewelry. Yes. Excellent. Brew of magma skin directly on the pendant. Now we just wear this and we'll have fire immunity as long as it has mana. And I don't want to be running out of mana while we're out there. Now this holds quite a bit, and while we generate our own, this will eat it very quickly. So instead we're going to create something known as a mana mirror. Yes. Now this mana mirror will allow us remote access to any mana pool, and I don't know exactly where we'll have the supply. Whoops. We'll connect it to the master pool. Nice. Pendant and then mana mirror. Now we'll have to make a choice here. We're already wearing a bauble. This one gives us some shielding, and it also gives our items V-charge. So we might have to switch it on and off here. But these things should maintain charge long enough for us to do our exploring. We have 40 minutes of Sane Thoughts juice inside our bottle here. Hopefully we'll be able to find what we need within that time. With the Tainted Blood Pendant and the ability to draw directly from our infinite farm, we should be able to hang out indefinitely in the Nether and never have to worry about being scalded again. We just need to make sure that our farm is running. We'll be tied directly to our base. Through the mirror. Okay. Let's find ourselves a wrinkle in time. Okay. We have ourselves a quick way home, since this will only take us to the same dimension, but from here we can go to any other dimension thanks to our signposts. Here in the Nether, I seem to be immune, somewhat, to the effects of warp. Ah! I was mistaken! It's very mistaken. The warp ward can still... It can still affect me. Even here. The illness. Okay. That's what I get for my hubris. This is unheard of. If there were ever a place where I would think the boundaries between worlds is thin, it'd be here, where a piece of the overworld appears to have dipped here in the Nether. We should be pretty far from our base from here. Let's see if we get lucky on the other side. Traveled quite far, this I know. We have no maps to guide us. I didn't want to use this waystone here, but I think we must. To Nether grasslands. We didn't bring our atlas with us, and it hasn't been working well, but at least we have this waystone. We can use signs to get back here, and once we get inside, we can use the Eye of Fugale to get ourselves back home, since it can't cross dimensions. It'll take us right to our Nether hub, and we can get home from there. Till then, we'll look around. Maybe we can get, hopefully, lucky. This eye is supposed to light up when we get close. What's this? That's interesting, but it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a weakness in space and time, a crack in reality. Some kind of portal. There it is, but it's not the one we're looking for. Not today. You know what I'm looking for. I know what you're guarding, and I know you're trying to stop me. But you will fail. I've grown too powerful for you. Hear that, Nanis? Your minions can't touch me. I am beyond the reach of your peons. And soon I'll be out of your reach as well. No. Bring as many as you can. It'll be less to defend you when I find my way in. It's a Vorpal blade. Oh, this used to be a nice forest. Too bad I was fire resistant that entire time. How unfortunate for you. What's this? Standing stones? Runes? Talisman? A mysterious robed stranger. Whoa! What? Okay. Is this a challenge? I'm game. Ah! Druid. Dark druid? Look. I already have a... The position of wizard has been filled. Amateur. What's this? Swamp oak. Wait. Stop. Who's hitting me? Skeleton? Ah! Well, you're a tenacious one. Okay, fine. Look. Stay dead. You drop anything? What is going on? Ugh! Okay, there is a mystery here, and I'm going to solve... That's a neat disappearing trick you've got there. Ugh. Look, I routinely jump off my tower just for kicks and giggles. You're going to have to throw me a lot higher in the air than that. What's this? Some sort of runes? One magical mystery to another. These dark druids seem to be infinite. But there's this thing in the middle. See if we can get a moment to look at it. Come on. Interesting. Oh, okay. So they're dropping some keys. Maybe if I can get all 4 of them and see what this thing does. Piece 2. This is it. This is the last piece. Oh, you are desperate. What's happening? Is this it? The eye? No. This is something else. I don't know what we found. We've unlocked some kind of secret here today. Swamp Talisman. Our beacon here hasn't resulted in us finding a weakness in reality yet. But this little eyeball will find it for us sooner or later. Instead, we found a different mystery. One that we'll have to address later. But for now, I think it's time that we went home. And we'll pick up this journey next time. So I'm going to backtrack our steps here through the grasslands. We can eyeball back to our hub. And I think I'll do a bit of traveling here. Between times we see each other again. And we come back. We will find the darkness, locate Inanus, and defeat him. Rogues and Alchemists, we're going to call that an episode for today. We did not find the entrance to the emptiness, but I'm confident that we will. Between sessions, I'm going to do some searching and see if we can find that crack in reality we seek. Meanwhile, we found another mystery that we'll have to solve later. If you like what you saw, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out Sassy Rogue on her side of the channel. And I will see you in the next episode of Thaumcraft, the Forbidden Arts. See you next time, everybody. Goodbye.
Subscribe.